I'm Dr. Victoria Hill and I'm here in the Canadian Arctic at the Catlin Ice Camp. And I've had some really great questions from Miss Hill's class at the Hamstreet Primary School in Ashford, Kent in England. The first set of questions is about the weather. Today it's actually quite warm, it's minus 14 degrees centigrade. We have had some days where it's been nearly minus 40 degrees centigrade, which is very cold. You have to make sure that you wrap up really warm, you have your jacket and your hat and your hood up as well as your goggles. But today it's actually quite nice. You can see I'm just in my jumper and it's snowing a little bit as well, so it's actually warmed up. The weather can be different each day. We have just had 4 days of stormy weather where it was very, very windy and you're lying in your tent to sleep at night or trying to sleep and the wind is buffeting the tent, and that's a little worrying. You're hoping that the tent isn't going to blow away. But then it brightens up and the sun comes out and you can see we have some nice days too. We have a lot of snow on the ground. It's in some places up to 30 centimeters thick and the wind blows it into huge drifts and these really beautiful shapes called strugi on the ground. So it's very, very pretty out here, but just is white as far as you can see. We also have some questions about what it's like to live up here. The children are especially interested in the clothing and how we sleep. So we have 2 sets of clothing. You have what I'm wearing right now, which is our everyday wear. We have salopettes and a jacket that I'm not wearing right now because it's quite warm, and I have a nice fur ruff on my jacket that keeps the wind out of my face, and then I have my fleece underneath and my thermals, keeps me nice and warm. When the weather gets really bad we have to wear our down jacket and salopettes, and those are a lot thicker and much warmer, but we don't wear them every day because they're a little bit difficult to move around in and work in. Our camp is behind us. These are the main tents that we work in, and the long tent is the mess tent. Beyond that are the sleeping tents. Some of us share a tent and others are in much smaller tents and they're just single person. Inside we keep our sleeping bags. We have a 4-layer sleeping bag system because it gets so cold at night. So you have to go into your tent in all your outdoor clothes, try and jump out of your jacket and trousers really quickly and get into your sleeping bag before it gets too cold. I have 2 hot water bottles that I take into bed with me every night, and they help keep me very warm, and I pretty much stay asleep all night until about 7 o'clock when it's time to get up for breakfast. So although the outside temperature is very cold, inside the sleeping bags it's actually very warm and comfy. We had another question as to how do you change clothes when it's so cold? Well, the answer is that we don't change our clothes very often. It is very cold, and so you don't really want to expose yourself to the cold temperatures. So we tend to change our thermals every few days, and you just tend to go into a heated tent and do it very quickly. Okay, so our next set of questions are about the camp dog. See if I can find him. Here he is, Took! Took! Well, this is our camp dog. He's a Canadian Inuit dog and his name is Took, and he has a very important job. He's a polar bear warning system. If he senses a polar bear he'll start barking. So far we've been safe, we haven't seen any bears, so he hasn't barked very much at all. And he's an outside dog, so he doesn't come into the tents. He sleeps outside at night, and when it snows he just gets covered with a light layer of snow, and in the morning he just shakes it off, and he's very warm and comfortable with that. He doesn't have to hunt for his food. We brought all our food in on an aeroplane, and it's all stacked out here in the snow where it stays nice and cold and frozen.